When I think back on my 20s, gosh, those were crazy years. Going through and just trying to figure out life, what it's all about. If you think about it, in your 20s, that is when you are going from being a child to an adult. It's the same time that you're testing things, testing how people have told you how life is, testing how you think life is, and then actually trying to execute them in the real world. During my 20s, it was rough. But then I learned 3 lessons that helped me immensely. It helped me move through the world with confidence, being self-assured in my decisions. And in this video, I'm going to share 3 lessons that I learned that could help you move through the world so easily. Hi, my name is Alana. And just like you, I've scoured the internet looking for ways to improve my life. On this channel, I give you the best tips and tricks that have helped me to improve my life and the life of others. So if you like the sound of that, click on the little subscribe button down below. Did you do it? Good. Now back to the video. The first lesson. Asking for help is not a weakness. I don't know what it is about society, but we love to put these self-starters on a pedestal. That these people who have made these corporations, these businesses, that have raised them up all by themselves. At least that's what they like to tell us. In actuality, every single one of them had help somewhere. Whether getting their first loan from their parents or being chosen from a group of applicants, someone chose to help them. Maybe you were just around the right group of people. No one reaches a mountaintop without some help. And so we get to this point of, okay, someone helps us. Great. But what happens if we don't ask for help? Were we unworthy of that help because someone didn't automatically grab you and pull you to the next peak, the next goal? No. Asking for help doesn't mean that you are weak or you're unworthy of getting to that next goal just because somebody didn't see you or recognize that you needed help. In fact, you telling people that you need help is probably the bravest and strongest thing you could do, because you recognize that you can't do it alone. You need the help of others to get to that next point in life. The second lesson that you should learn: believe in people's actions, not just their pretty words. This was a very interesting lesson for me to learn, because this lesson didn't just apply to people. It applied to institutions. Institutions that say that they're for one thing, but when you look at their actions, they actually do another. As a relatively sheltered child going out into the world, too often I found that I was swayed by pretty words in terms of how people said, and not recognizing what those people and institutions did. Where one person can say, "I love you," and at the same time slap you. It's contradictory. And the sooner you take that lesson into you, the better off you are. You are then able to truly see people's real actions, people's real intentions, and you can tell who are really the good people and the people who say they're good while they go off and do something else. This last lesson I learned was probably the most difficult lesson I needed to learn, because this lesson not only is about me as a person, but it also showed up in as me as an African American, me as a Black person, and me as a woman. That lesson was that you do not have to prove that you belong right where you are. It's so often that I find that I would sacrifice time, sleep, worry, just to be where I was, to prove to the people around me that I belonged where I was. Even after getting the job, somehow I felt like I had to prove that I belonged in that job. After being invited to an event, I had to prove that I was worthy of being invited to that event. And it came into a constant cycle of trying to prove myself. Actually, earlier this year, I had attended a Black women's conference, and we were talking about how we grew up. And the woman I was speaking with was talking about how she had lived in a low-income area and how it was tough trying to get through the gangs and everything. And then it became my turn to talk about how I grew up. And then, trying to make light of the situation, I said, "Oh, when I was a rich Black child." And the woman stopped me. And she said, "The way that I grew up, there is no clarification about the way I grew up. I don't have to clarify anything. The way that I see the world is the way that I see the world, and I don't have to make any asterisks next to it just because I don't match the same way someone else does." It was really powerful. It was truly a changing moment. This lesson I actually started back in my 20s, and as you can see, this lesson I have to relearn over and over again as it starts showing up in different parts of my life. This constant need to prove. You don't have to prove anything. You are worthy of being right where you are. Thank you so much for listening. If you like anything that I have said, please like and share the video. And in the comments down below, tell me about a lesson that you have learned that has changed your life. And until next time.